Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I am so happy to have you here with me today. This is our first WIP Wednesday catch up and chit chat of 2025. And this one is pretty special for me because a lot's happened, not so much like in the last few weeks or anything, but I just got a notification that I've been on YouTube for like 3 years. And I was like, wow, has it been 3 years? So I'm just going to kind of recap what's happened over the last 3 years. And then I'll get into some projects I'm working on and what's coming to the channel. So I'm going to start off by saying just like, thank you. Thank you so much to every single one of you that has ever watched a video, liked a video, commented, shared. It means so much to me. Like it means so much to me because when I started, I honestly didn't know where I was going with the channel. And then also at that time, I was really uncertain of myself. And at the time, I was like in a coaching program and everything. And what I wanted to do with the channel was what I was told to not do with the channel. So I spent some time really like battling that decision and not knowing if I should or if I shouldn't. But eventually I kind of got to it. But, like I had to take some time to really work through all of that and figure myself out and then kind of really hone in on what I wanted and what I wanted to give to you as my viewer. So I'm really glad I kind of got there. And I just want to thank all of you for helping me to get there. So it's been 3 years since I started YouTube. I posted my first video. I had to pull everything up here so I have all the dates. So I think I posted my first video because I started with vlogs and I posted my first video on January 28th. So it's not quite, what day is it? I don't even know. I'm recording this on, yes, exactly the 28th. So today's Tuesday, 28th. So it's exactly 3 years since I posted my first video. And I did a series of vlogs because at the time I was writing patterns. I was learning to write and publish patterns. So that was kind of the journey I took you guys on at the beginning as I went through writing, designing, and putting out my very first pattern. And then I did that tutorial on the channel. That one's on there. So I published that pattern on April 1st of 2022 and the video and everything. I didn't actually put the tutorial on the channel for quite some time. I think I waited until October of 2022 before the tutorial for that first pattern went on YouTube. And that was the time where, I really wanted to do tutorials with patterns or without patterns because that's how I learned. I learned to crochet and relearn to crochet in 2020. I used to crochet when I was a teenager and then I'd stop. So I learned again in 2020. And as soon as I started, I knew I wanted to show people how to do it because I never really resonated with reading patterns. Even to this day, I can read patterns. I did practice and learn how to read patterns, but it still doesn't work for me. It for some reason, when it comes to patterns, I find for me personally, there's this disconnect between like the pattern and what I'm doing. And I can't quite understand why, but I do really resonate with like watching a tutorial, seeing it done, and then doing it for myself, which is really what I wanted to do. But then there is that school of thought where you don't want to put out tutorials because you don't want to give away your stuff for free. But then I don't see it as giving it away for free, right? And I also don't necessarily see myself as a teacher. I more think of myself as a guide. I want to guide you through the process of making each piece because I'm not just showing you how to make a specific piece. How I kind of lay things out and how I've always wanted to do it was that I'm kind of showing you a method that you can use. So you can sub in any stitch or anything like that and then use that method to create other things because that's kind of how I kind of process things. I will learn a method of doing one thing, and then the fun part is choosing different stitches and to use that specific method to do other things. So that's kind of how I see myself, not necessarily as a teacher teaching you how to do X, Y, or Z, but as a guide showing you a process of something that you can use and use time and time again. So after I had published that video, then I did a few like other ones, just like a few scarves and that sort of thing. And then I think when I really honed in on what I wanted to do, what was always like in my heart to do as tutorials was when I actually published, and it's still today one of my best performing tutorials. It is the crochet mesh tunic tutorial. And I did that one just before my birthday in 2023. It was published on May 12th and my birthday was the 15th because I made that tunic for myself for my birthday that year. And it just meant so much to me that I had finally developed the confidence to put out content that was really true to me and how I wanted to put stuff on YouTube, how I wanted to show people how to crochet things, how I know and how I actually do things, because exactly how I show you how to make things is exactly how I make them. I don't have any other like process. Yes, I may write stuff down. I may do sketches. I don't always, but I do really resonate with that sort of like free flow, free form type of just like putting stuff together. That's really how my mind works. That's really how I put stuff together. So as I'm showing it to you in a tutorial, that's exactly how I'm doing it. So after I published that mesh tunic tutorial, and to see the feedback that I got from it and how much people appreciated it, that was really the proof for me to say, yes, this is what you're meant to be doing. People need your method. People need me, right? I had to really come to terms with the fact that I do things differently. And yes, it may not always resonate with everyone, but there are people out there that just need me and the way I do things. So that was really the proof for me to say, yes, continue to do things the way you're doing it from your heart, how it's true to you. Because honestly, the feedback since then has just been like, I couldn't have imagined. Like, I really couldn't have imagined all that has happened. So it's just like, I'm just like in a place right now where I am just so appreciative of every single one of you. Like, I really do appreciate it. And then I think I also, actually, I think it was last year. It was last year finally that I did monetize my YouTube channel. I think it was in the summer, I think is when I monetized my YouTube channel. So I've been monetized for almost a year. So it's been good. I have been like very appreciative of that. And what I want now is just to honestly be more consistent and to not second guess the ideas, because sometimes I get ideas and I will second guess it and not do it because it's either in my mind, I'm telling myself, oh, it's too simple, somebody's already done it. Because I don't necessarily like complicated stitches. I am just one who I like basic stitches. I like basic stitches and just trying to use different methods of constructions and that sort of thing to see what I can create. I'm not one that really likes very complicated, lacy shells, puff. I don't like puff stitches. Like, I think I may have done one tutorial. I think it was like a cowl that had some plump posts, but I don't like puff stitches. I don't like a lot of texture, like things that are jutting out, because from what I've experienced so far is when I do things like that, the fabric just, it peels a lot and then it gets really fuzzy and matted, and I don't like it. It's not something that really speaks to me, so to speak. So I don't do a lot of puffs and that sort of thing. Maybe one day I'll kind of get back to it and experiment a little bit more, but that's just not necessarily me. I do like simple stitches and just trying to find different ways of constructing things. So that's kind of where I'm going to start to lean into, just like really once I get an idea, I'm just going to action it and I'm going to put it up for you. And wherever it goes, it goes. But it's just to really start enjoying the process again versus overthinking it and trying to put too much emphasis on the end result versus the process, because it's the process that I enjoy and not so much the end result. The end result is great because it's always like, oh, I have this thing that I made, but the process is what is far more exciting for me. So that's what I'm kind of working towards, to be more consistent, to just enjoy playing and doing all those fun things that I started out liking to do before I kind of started to overthink everything. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm excited for that. And now what I'm going to do, because I do have a few things coming up, like you may recognize this if you've watched a tutorial of the simple crochet cardigan. Like this one just went up, I think last week is when I did it. And this one's been a long time coming. You guys have been waiting for it since I think before Christmas, but I had it mostly done before Christmas, and then January started. My youngest got sick, so he was sick for like the first week of January, and then I got sick right after, so then I was sick. So it just took some time to really get back into a rhythm, but I'm back in the rhythm. This one's done, and I have a couple of things coming up that two are already complete and will be published next week and the week after, and then hopefully the other one will be the following week. So I have at least 3 weeks worth of videos in the works that are coming up. So first, I'm going to show you what's going to be coming up next week, which is this absolutely beautiful, super chunky infinity scarf. So I used a category 6, like super bulky weight yarn. And it's just a very simple stitch. Like the tutorial is super short because the stitch is so simple, but it works up so nice. And yes, it looks extremely large, but it is so comfortable, so squishy. Let's take a little look. Like, come on, look at this. Like, it's so soft and so squishy. It's just absolutely just like perfect for February, especially if you live like somewhere cold like me, where you're in Canada and it gets really, really cold and bitter in February and all those things. So that one is coming up. And then along with that, I did cute ear warmers. I'm not one for making hats, but I do love making ear warmers because I don't wear hats. I am more so to wear ear warmers. So I made another one. I use the exact same scarf. So it is a super bulky, so it works up super quick. I have already made, this is one, and I've made 2 other ones. And I think, in all honesty, it took me maybe an hour, hour and a half. I crochet fairly slow. So if you're a fast crocheter, you can probably work this up in less than an hour, to be honest. It's, I think, 48 stitches by 7 rows. So it's really, really, really fast. So that's that one. And then up next after that is another garment. And I've been wanting to do something like this for quite some time because I have a video up on the channel where it shows you how to take your measurements and how to use those measurements to make garments for your upper body. So cardigans, tops, that sort of thing. And there is one method of construction that I get questions on all the time. So I'm using that method to make this sweater. So I'm gonna open it up, this cardigan for you, and kind of show you. So it's going to be made in 2 pieces. So on one side, so it's worked sort of like, let me do it on this side so you can kind of see it a little bit better. So this is how it would work out. So you make your chain, it's going to be long from the front going all the way across down the back. And then once you finish that, then you add the sleeve on and you're going to sew it together in the back and then add the ribbing. So I find that's a really, really quick way to put cardigans together because working just like one long row back and forth, sometimes it also gives you that like mindless working project where you can just sit down and you just work these really long rows. You're watching Netflix or something like that, and it just is really simple. You don't have to think about a million pieces to put together. So I'm very excited about that. This one is half done. So usually I will work one piece sort of as the prototype just to make sure everything works out. So I've worked one half of the body already. So I know what I'm doing. So now I can record for you with the other half and then we'll just put it all together. So I'm very excited about this because I've wanted to make something with this method of construction for a little while. I just haven't quite gotten around to it. So I'm very excited to do that for you now. So that is what is coming up at the moment. So as I said, I have 3 videos that are already in the works. 2 are finished. So the scarf and the ear warmer, those are finished. I just have to finish editing the videos and schedule them to go up. And then for the cardigan, I have to actually do the recording and that sort of thing. But because I already know what I need to do, I can go through it a lot faster. So that is what I have coming up for you so far. And I am just so very excited to see what we do this year, how far we go. And I'm just excited for the journey. Like I'm just excited to continue to be doing it, to have really gotten back into it. I do love it. And I'm just so appreciative that I get to do it, to get to share my love and my joy of crochet with you going through this year. I'm very excited for everything that's to come. And I will do at least one of these videos, like the WIP Wednesday ones. I will either do one at the very end of the month. And depending on what project I'm working on, if it's taking a little bit longer, then I'll probably do 2 just to fill that gap for you. Because I'm really going to try to put up a minimum of 3 videos every month, working towards 4, but 3 will be my baseline. So that's all that is to come. That's really all I had to share with you today. I am just like so excited and so grateful to have you here on this journey with me. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so very much. You take care, and until next time, bye for now.